Hello and welcome everybody to the TRACKILICIOUS Monday Rookie Series. I'm Mike Nause in the booth. Hope everyone's having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. We are in the midst of qualifying already with a load of drivers out on the grid here at Laguna Seca, a 2.2 mile circuit here. As it stands, we have a whopping 31 car grid. Love to see it. All of the chat members as well out there. Big thank you to you guys. As I see Lizzie in chat. Welcome, Lizzie, Raleigh, Doc Milwee, and Sharpenberry. Welcome to everyone. Welcome one and all. We are going to be heading on quickly into the session. As I said before, we are in qualifying, so we are going to head straight on down into that in a moment, actually. We're going to do one thing first, of course. Wanted to just give a little shout out to our patrons, which I unfortunately didn't update. We have one more patron here on this list. I had a power outage before the stream and didn't get to update it. But that new patron is going to be Christian Dubé. Big thank you to Christian Dubé for participating as well in that. And a big thank you to all your future supporters that will have their names on this list, I can assure you, next time around. As we have it, though, we're going to head down into that session. Now, moving on into the qualifying, we can see our current P3 sitter that we're looking at, actually, as he's head back into the pits. 7 minutes remaining in qualifying here. You can see Stefano Rinaldi out on track behind the wheel of the Porsche Motorsports Porsche. Seen a lot of Porsches out there on the grid tonight, definitely the popular car of choice. But as it stands, Pablo Navarrete going to be our pole sitter with Alan Calvello in P2 and Jonathan Quezada in P3 as it stands. Currently, though, drivers all going to be starting their laps as well as they come around the lovely 2.2-mile circuit located, of course, in California, in Salinas, in the Salinas County in California. 11 corners, 6 to the left, 5 to the right. About 55 meters of elevation with the famous corkscrew, of course. Most of that elevation change happening here. But we can hop on here with Matt Melanson, the Alpine, currently tailing behind a Porsche in front. Lots of Porsches on the grid. Much better line there for Matt than the car in front. Going to be maybe impeding us here. We will find out soon enough. Matt Melanson needs to be a little bit careful. As it stands, though, going to be a bit off the pace. We'll check in a little bit later. Currently, P2, though, Eduardo Leighton. Nicely done. Currently coming down the corkscrew in the just driving number 31 Porsche. You can see cars moving off to the side. Oh, bit of a hesitation there as I think Leighton had a bit of a scare, but the time keeps climbing. Now through the final few corners, the penultimate corner, and into turn 11, the final. A little bit deep. Big moment in correction. He was 6/10 up on his Delta. As it stands, that final corner could have made the difference to pole position as he comes across the line. What's it going to be? It's going to be a bit of an improvement, but not quite enough. And Sword and Keyboard, welcome. Hope you're having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, along with everybody else here in the stream. Of course, I'm Mike Nause. We got these lovely cars going around this 2.2-mile circuit here on the home soil over here in North America. A lot of these tracks in the ACC, of course, are going to be European, with the newest track, or at least the newest release notes of the Nürburgring. We'll see that, of course, not... Maybe, I don't remember. Is there a date confirmed for that? Actually, I know I saw a post earlier on it. Does anyone know if there's a date confirmed for that release or not? Will it be within this year? I presume it will not be within this year. No date, says Kevin Rivera. Just like me on a Saturday night. Nonetheless, we see... oh, I apologize in advance to anyone that I mispronounced their name, but I'm going to go with Usiban. Usiban, it's a definitely Afrikaans name, so you got to put the spice on it. Oh, no, that's too much. Hold on. Umbanesk? I need to practice that one. That is a tough one for me. I apologize. I'm very curious where... They say they have a Swiss flag, but with the name like that and the Team Grilled Cheese, I have a sneaking suspicion that they are not natively from Swiss. Currently, though, sitting in P2. So, Sword and Keyboard asking an awesome question. Is the Thursday M2 League, so is there Thursday M2s? Yes, there is Thursday M2s, and not only are there Thursday M2s, which actually that league is going to be wrapping up relatively soon here, but don't fret. As we have it here, we're going to pop the calendar. Actually, we're going to, yeah, he's on an invalid lap. but nonetheless, you can take a look at our calendar. We see Bathurst coming up next on November 9th. That's going to be our M2 reverse grid. So we have, after the first race, of course, one race will be in the correct order. The other race will be in flip-flop from the race order from the front. So it is a spicy one, to say the least. All of these events, of course, can be found over on SimGrid. Jake Wells dropping a sub as well. Why didn't it work? I typed it right. Jake Wells smoking the tires. There we go. It worked the second time around. I'm not sure what I did different. But nonetheless, you can take a look there at the link in chat to find that, as well as coming up, as I said, or it's wrapping up, but taking its place is going to be the GT3 reverse grid right after that. November 16th will be at Spa-Francorchamps. We'll have the same format that we have for the M2s, just behind the wheel of the GT3s. And reverse grid at Bathurst, can't wait. I cannot either. It's going to be so much fun. We'll pop into qualifying as there is only 1 minute left here. And we have currently Pablo Navarrete, like I say, still on pole position. Usiban just not quite able to put a lap together. Invalid this lap. He was a little bit off the pace last time around. Also the lovely Jacob Wells. When you want Mike to notice, so you sub each month. Yes, thank you, Jake. You can always, you know, come in other ways, Jake. You're always welcome in the booth. I know I've said that before, and you have partook in the booth before, but you are always welcome, Jake. Kaio Jr., currently sitting in P10, is going to come across the line to begin his final lap tonight. 2.2 miles here or at least ahead. And Jake, I may not need you, but I want you. I want you. I'll give you that clip, Jake. You can have it. Post it on your wall. If you can post clips on your wall. I don't know. I guess you got those digital picture frames these days. And Lizzie, no valid lap. Oh no, that is no bueno. Lizzie. Getting track limits, getting the best of Lizzie here tonight. Doing great in practice. The pressure got to you. That's what it was. It's all right, Lizzie. I'm sure you can make up some positions. You've been doing really well these past few weeks, so keep it up. I think maybe even this could be a blessing. Keep you out of those first lap contacts. Let's hope we don't see too much of that tonight, as these leagues are relatively clean. Of course, this is the rookie league. We are seeing nothing but red plate drivers out there, and they are all rookies. And Carlos Guzman in chat cheering on Melanson. How's it going, Carlos? Jason Provolone, the Stinky Cheese Man himself. Gonna be out there on track tonight, but not in the first one, I think in the second race, of course. And let's go Mike Patrick. Assbox over on Twitch in P8. Looking to climb into the top 10 very steadily here. Mike Patrick. Jake, what did you say? And across the line, Eduardo Leighton does actually gain the position there at the end over Usiban. Umbanesque? Umbanesque. That's what we're going with, ladies and gentlemen. That's a tough one. Oh, you sent the link of me saying that, but no links allowed. I don't know how to permit you for links. If I knew, I would, Jake. If I knew, I would, but I'm a Twitch noob. As we have it, though, not really too important right now. We have 31 drivers here on the grid, all eager to be announced. Starting here in P1, it's going to be Pablo Navarrete in the Just Driving number 14 Porsche GT4 car. Almost said 992. Not the 992 here. Eduardo Leighton going to be behind him in the Porsche GT4 as well. Lined up next, or in the front row, the number 31 car going to be trying to push Pablo here to the They're into the first quarter. Usiban Umbanesk in P3, the number 67 driver next to Christian De Soto, the number 59 Porsche on row 2. Alan Calvello, 5th fastest in the 128 JD BMW, the M4 out there. And Jason Nauber going to be in P6. The number 27 Noobs R Us driver climbing up there into the top 10. Nicely done for Jason, with Jonathan Quezada close behind there in P7. Mike Patrick, 8th quickest in the AMG Black, with Brandon Mellenbach, 9th fastest, the number 17 AMG. Caio Jr., the Brazilian driver, going to be lined up there rounding out our top 10, with Jeff Dallas company on row 11. Row 11, P11. Ryan Brown, row 6 in P12, and the IMSA Performance, the Audi, with Marco Gonzalez in P13 behind. Patty Doring lined up next to him in the AI-generated number 808. You're going to be lined up in P14 with Matt Melanson company in 15th. Seth Lincoln, 16th quickest in the Schwede Motorsports, with Sam Warden in 17th, the 777 Porsche Motorsports Porsche. We also have Simon Tonkin, 18th quickest with, I apologize, Guilherme Arthur. That wasn't even close. With Jeff Franks behind in P20, rounding out our top 20. Gaines Madsen in P21 in another AI-generated livery, with Mike Freund in P22. Milton Lee, 23rd fastest. Mike Fisher in 24th. Raleigh Duce, 25th, with Michael Cortez company in 26th. Stefano Rinaldi in 27th. Scott Sullivan, 28th. Lizzie Alisea without a qualifying lap. And last but not least, Ivar Filipe in the pits, starting in P30. With Alexio Gappa in P31. Didn't see you. Sorry, Alexio. Love you, Alexio. As we head into it. And Jose is ranked on Warzone. Okay. Is it really as simple as typing !permit? Okay. And Jose Guzman dropping a sub. Thank you very much. That was in the grid rundown. Appreciate it, Jose. Both the Guzmans in chat tonight. He likes Azuka. Can you please give me a phonetic breakdown on his last name? Is it Umban-esque? Is it Umban-esque? Umban-esque? And Jake Wells going to be catching the green flag here. You'd love to see it. Also a hydrate from Sharpenberry. Without a hydrate, that does not count. Stay thirsty, folks. All right, that one counts, Jose. See, Jose, I actually preempted you on that one. I figured you were going to go for that. All right, Sharpenberry getting a bit excessive here. As the drivers all get ready here. 20 minutes on the clock. Coming into the final, or down the final sector now, after, of course, the famous corkscrew. Now, through the penultimate corner, these cars go up the front. They are going to be getting ready to crest the final. And now, drivers lined up 2x2 Noah's Ark formation as they come around the final corner onto the start-finish line. Pablo Navarrete in P1 with Eduardo Layton second in company. I'm Mike Nause in the booth. As we come to the line, we are green, green, green. Drive-through penalty picked up for Eduardo Leighton. That is huge early on as we still are racing, though, into the first corner. We have Usaban going to be on the move immediately. Sees weakness in Eduardo. Eduardo seems very disheartened at the beginning there. Side by side, though, Christian De Soto and Alan Calvelo, sorry. Side by side through the first sector we go. And I think Christian De Soto is going to eke that one out. Eduardo Leighton is going very slowly here. Ignore the timing charts on the side. They are going absolutely crazy. We have Usaban as well, chasing down for P1 back here. Allen, side by side, going to make that happen. A bit further behind, we have more 2x2 action. Number 18 of Gonzalez, side by side, is 17 and 18. Now going to be coming back up the hill, heading towards the Dipper. Of course, this is not a corner you really want to go side by side through. It's so easy to misjudge the speed, and the 212 there is going to get overtaken here, potentially into one of the most famous corner complexes in the track, the corkscrew. Side by side, and it looks like they're going to maintain it. Clean racing here. Marco Gonzalez and Jonathan Quezada for P9. Marcos secures it for now. Mike Patrick chasing down Jason Nauber, who's retained his position from the start, and Christian De Soto now going to be coming around through the final few corners, actually the final corner, to complete 2.2 miles here of lap 1 at Laguna Seca. Now, Jeff Dallas and Brandon Mellenbach. What do they have here side by side? Is going to be catching Ryan Brown as well. Ryan Brown under massive threat. Down the inside goes the number 17 of Brandon. It looks like he is going to have that secured. Eduardo Leighton also opted not to take the drive-through penalty this lap. Eduardo Leighton started in P2. He picked that up for a start place infringement, unfortunately. And as a result, he is going to need to serve that within the next 3 laps. Otherwise, he will receive a heavier penalty. And clean driving by Gonzalez must not be Gage. Wow. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Gaines Madsen here on the chase. Arthur in front. That name, this name isn't that hard to pronounce. That's the worst part. At least I don't think it is. Sage David dropping a subscription. Subscribe for 9 months already, David. My goodness. Thank you so much for your continued support. Much appreciated. Matt Melanson, we had some cheers in him for chat earlier. He's going to be making moves early on here. Jeff Dallas is going to be the next victim for him. Potentially, he's up 1 position from where he started. Not a terrible start. In fact, quite a good start. Kyle Jr. is down. Oh, contact into the first quarter. That was Jonathan Quezada around. Not sure. Let's take a look at what resulted here. Side by side, we see those 2 cars. Are they going to misjudge their braking? Oh, that AMG is coming in hot, and the 212 did everything he could. He even ran deep into the corner. There was just nothing that he could have done to stop. I think that was Matt Melanson. No, it was not Matt Melanson. Sorry to throw you under the bus, Matt. As Matt is now currently facing the incorrect direction in the Alpine. Yes, that is Matt. What has happened to Matt? He is watching everybody go by. Oh, big wiggle there on the rear end. And that just pitches him back and forth. A nice tank slapper. Not quite into the barrier. He is going to wait, though, for all of these drivers to come by. And I really want this. No, Gaines Mads. We're watching replays, everybody. I wish I could actually go live, but we need to catch this one now. Gaines Madsen, you can see they're stranded, was side by side in a heated battle, and it looks like it has come off the worst case scenario. We see here side by side the 2 Porsches. Oh! That's what happens when you go side by side through the Dippa. Devin Anthony in chat supporting noobs. Welcome, Devin Smallblock Anthony. Brandon Mellenbach pressuring the Porsche as he flips his blinker on, and actually that's a back marker. No, it's not. That is for position. Patty Doring. No, that's not Patty Doring. Who is that? Sam Warren. Sam Warren going very slow. And is it 100? Is it Onkov? Onkov? If you are interested in running in this series, which I highly recommend, you can find the information here on SimGrid, !SimGrid in chat, which I've already got. We can find the information there. All of our leagues that we run are available over there. We'll have a little peek at the calendar later on, but currently there's a bit too much action going on to take any eye off of. This, though, being the rookie series, so this is going to be open to rookies on the SimGrid. Of course, we also have our Patreon Championship tonight, our GT4 Open, so it's not just going to be one 20-minute race. We have a 40-minute one after this, of course. Big battles behind heading into the corkscrew. The 909 getting very wily on exit. You can see him heading down the hill as that is Ryan Brown under pressure and easily dispatched Mike Fisher. No response just yet. Eduardo Layton is deep. No, Eduardo Layton is by. Excuse me, Jonathan Quezada is deep. But yes, this being the Rookie League, later on we'll have our GT4 Open Series, which is open to all of our Patreon supporters as well as server supporters. Massive thank you to all of you involved in that. You guys are amazing, and like I say every single time, you make us want to push to bigger and better boundaries, and I hope we have been delivering recently. Side by side into the first corner, Mike Fisher and Mike Frund. And energy being given the way of Jake Wells by Jake Wells. You know what, Jake? I don't think it works like that, buddy. Buddy old pal. Lizzie report. Lizzie sitting in healthily in P27. Currently up in front of Gaines Madsen and just behind Jeff Franks. We'll see if she ends up gaining a little bit more here. Has Michael Cortez, the fellow Noobs R Us junior driver, in front. You can see just up the road Lizzie. All right, maybe let's not pay too much attention to Lizzie as she just had a little bit deep there.
Hey, Mike.
Hello, Eric. How's it going?
Good. How are you? Figured I'd come and give a helping hand if I can.
Sure. Yeah, that's totally fine. Oh my goodness, as there is contact. Michael Cortez is punted in the back there by, was that Jeff Franks? As we can get a little bit of action here for Eric as well. There you go.
Thank you.
Side by side as well, Ryan Brown and Arthur onto the straight, the Brazilian driver. Eric, I don't know if you've been tuning into this race so far, but it is a corker.
Yeah, I've been watching. Was trying to actually help out Mike Fisher and at P24 right now, doing a pretty good job overall considering his experience. A whole bunch of situations that he was in, but navigated them pretty well. Of course, it helps to have a spotter a little bit, but yeah, really good racing all the way through the grid.
Yeah, so far. We also have up ahead, we see Simon Tonkin, Jonathan Quezada, and Sam Warren all having a nice little bout here with in front Eduardo Layton as well. These drivers are so eager, Eric, to make it up here on these early laps. Of course, Laguna Seca, a track that is very, very tight when it comes to overtaking opportunities.
Yeah, super difficult. I've had the fortune to drive here in real life, and my God, is it scary. Second sector, third sector, really second sector, a lot of blind turns and walls very close by. But yeah, overall, I've been watching, considering the number of rookies on track here with 31 people in the server. They're doing a phenomenal job. A couple of, as you say, Mike, bumping and banging, but nothing too crazy.
As we say that, Seth Lincoln getting a little bit of a spin. What a move there as Simon Tonkin runs deep and Sam Warren says thank you very much and snatches that position. We also have a full onboard lap here for Brandon Mellenbach from Kev Johnson. Welcome, Kev. We'll pop on board here into Sector 1. You can see it, well, if you can see the track over that long bonnet of the AMG. Track about half a football field ahead of us currently. Accelerating now towards the Andretti. No, not the, excuse me, this is turn 6. Heading up now the Raoul straight towards what I have dubbed the Dipper. This is turn 6. Now heading up towards the Corkscrew. This is, of course, as Eric said, a very scary corner to go through. Getting on the braking just at the start of the curbing. You can see him tipping that car in nicely. Easy steering rotation. That's going to be the key there. The more minimal output you can have, the more speed you're going to carry. Of course, you turn that wheel too much, you're going to scrub the wheels on your tire, or scrub your tires, and end up going straight on into the Corkscrew, which is never a good thing, especially when there are other drivers around. Final corner there being negotiated. We see some cars off in front, a little bit deep. Now on to the start-finish straight. Not the longest start-finish straight, not the most straight either. Bit of a corner here at the beginning. In fact, this is officially turn 1. Now heading into the second corner, the Andretti hairpin getting on the braking markers around the 100 meters there, Eric. And as you can see him complete here his full onboard lap last time around. We're looking at a lap time there of 1:32.0. A little bit off the pace of the leaders, but very respectable nonetheless.
Yeah, and while that was happening, really interesting battle between Edgardo Layton and Patty Doring, our AI specialist. They're still pretty close to each other, but looks like Layton's got it and putting a little bit of a gap to Doring now.
As that is for P...
11-12.
11-12, there we go. Struggling to find those. Wrong spot. Also, Caio Jr., Marcos Gonzalez, and Alan Calvello. Calvello? Or is it Calvello? How would you say that name, Eric?
Where am I looking? What position? Calvello, probably?
Yeah, okay, Calvello. Marcos Gonzalez. These two have had a nice little bout. As you can see, it's been a trading of errors. One driver makes one mistake, the other one seems to make the same. And oh my goodness, as they both make a mistake on the same corner. And Caio Jr. is going to slip in side by side, gets a much better exit. The inside line is going to be there for Marcos Gonzalez, but by the time they reach the first corner, even nonetheless the Andretti hairpin, he is fully behind. And looks like he had a look from the back there, but covered off very nicely. Caio Jr. not going to be letting that one by.
You know, that's a perfect example, Mike, of patience wins the day, right? You let the people up front battle, and then just be ready to strike when ready, when the time is right, I should say.
As it also is, it's a very entertaining view as well. You get to see it's the best view in the house, as I always like to say it. Jeff Dallas currently holding that throne, at least for right now. There's plenty of drivers actually that have this exact view. Maybe not necessarily of Marcos Gonzalez's bumper in front, but very tight up in front for Caio Jr. and Allen, as well as Mike Patrick here and Jason Nauber. Jason Nauber, he's worked his way up into P4, the Noobs R Us driver.
That is pretty impressive. It wasn't too long ago that Nauber had just joined the rookie series. So, man, I love watching the progression of these guys. And Mike, we got a P21-22 battle going on here. We got Freund and Rinaldi in a really tight battle. Freund looks like he's got about half a second speed advantage, but Rinaldi defending like a lion.
Yes, indeed. Now going to be heading up towards the Dipper. It's a very tough corner at the best of times. You can see the focus there, a bit deep from the car in front. That's going to give us a good run up the Raoul straight towards the Corkscrew. Pucks off, though, to the side. Luckily, Stefano Rinaldi did manage to get a good enough exit. Way deep, though, and that is going to be presumably the position done for Mike Freund, as he should have the exit, but no, somehow Stefano Rinaldi, after taking a very alternate line, managed to hold that position.
You know, top credits to Freund there. Really patient driving. I think he knows he has the pace and just waiting for the right time, with Stefano up front making a lot of mistakes, and might be here, got a better exit, but that patience I think is going to pay off. Rather than get into an incident, you know, just make sure that it is the correct move, because you still have a couple of laps left.
Yeah, very smart head on the shoulders here of Mike. Fellow Mike, of course, I'm not biased whatsoever. So he cannot seem to get it done, though. He's trying, as you said, he has that pace advantage, but it really isn't helping him as Laguna Seca. It's one thing to have a pace advantage, but it's another thing to actually make an overtake, and he catches a tire onto the grass, and that is going to be a huge bump in the race there for the number 70 of Mike Freund.
Exclamation point curse in chat.
No, not really. No, that was not a curse. We've been with that one.
We've been given some props. You know, hey, this is the perfect place to make mistakes like that. Really good driving up to that point, but ultimately, these are rookies. They are still learning. So I think it was a fantastic drive by Freund there. Freund, I think. Mike doing a really good job. And I think, you know, next race or the race after that, he's going to get that position. You know, he's really getting there.
And speaking of mics, we have a overwhelming number of mics on this grid, actually. I will say there's 3 mics in this race, not to mention the one in the booth. Mike Patrick up in the top 10, currently in the top 5. Also, Jeremy Cubbage in chat, welcome. And one big league gifting a subscription to Devin Small Block Anthony. Welcome, Devin. And the Soul Kid also in chat, welcome. Roofless cheering on Lizzie. Lizzie currently, I think was at least last time we checked, down in P27. So actually now into P28. Looks like Milton Lee has found a little bit of pace there, and the position Mike really struggling. All right, fine. Chat has ruled. The wooden gavel has been slammed down on the table, and I did curse them according to Arvind. Is it Arvindus? Arvindus, I think is how. But fair enough. And thank you, David, for keeping me honest. Also, 92 curses. We're almost to triple digits, Eric.
Triple digits on what?
Curses.
Oh, goodness. Huh. I mean, you're doing your job.
Yeah, what can I say?
That's you're not a good commentator until you have the magic of the curse. So I think you've earned the curse. I think you've done a fantastic job, you and all of your co-commentators, except for the one really bad one that you've got next to you today. But yeah, overall, you guys earned it. You guys have developed such a fantastic stream and fantastic atmosphere for our viewers to be a part of, and having the ability to curse, having that magic talent within you is a part of the gig, and credit to you all, to all of you.
Thanks. I guess. Moving on, Christian DeSoto.
Backhanded compliment. Good job messing up all our drivers.
Yeah. Why not? And Eric, you're gonna love to hear this suggestion. We need a multi-class race with M2s and KTMs. That is such an oddly specific request.
Gordon Keyboard with the experimental ideas, the controversial.
How did you say this name, Eric? It's not Eduardo?
It's Edgaro.
Edgaro?
Edgardo.
Are you sure it's not Eduardo?
Well, there's an ED and then a GARDO.
Where's he from? No flag.
It could be. I mean,
feel
maybe
like this
you're
is
right.
I feel like this is, and I'm gonna go out on a limb, and don't get me wrong. If I'm wrong, it's more than likely. Is it Eduardo? Getting a little eager. Is this a Portuguese spelling of Eduardo?
Possibly. You know what? Maybe you're right.
Because the G just doesn't seem likely in the Spanish or even Portuguese.
But Edgar is, there are Edgars in Latin
right.
American. Oh no!
Ooh, way deep.
I've seen that happen in real life Omar Ashraf, who used to race here, look in my rearview mirror, misses his braking point, goes into the sand. I swear, kid you not, 1 foot away from the tire wall. Let's say that is one real life brown pants moment if I've ever seen one.
He actually clattered the barrier quite hard, and luckily he bottomed out on track when he came back. That would have absolutely in real life just destroyed the underside of that car. That BMW would have been in tatters after that. Luckily, we're in the sim here and don't quite have that. And according to David, it is Edgardo.
Mike, we got a P2, P3 battle going on. Really, really tight, these guys within 2/10 of each other.
We have here the allegedly Swiss driver of Mban-esque, excuse me. Currently chasing DeSoto in the team grilled cheese. Now, Eric, I'm not sure what your take here is on grilled cheeses, but currently you could definitely cook one on this man's tailpipes. He is breathing down the neck, though, of Christian DeSoto in through the very tight corkscrew. We go down the hill again now towards the penultimate corner.
Right behind, we got P4, P5 battling for position as well, within half a second of each other. Wow, so many battles on the grid. P15 and 16. I'm very curious to see how this one ends up. Really nice side-by-side there.
The leaders finished the race? Pablo Navarrete wins, I guess. I wasn't quite paying attention. Sorry. Pablo Navarrete takes the win here tonight. Christian DeSoto takes P2, and Usiban, one more lap could have done it, but it's not here tonight. P3 is going to be the result there tonight for Mban-esque. With Jason Nauber, a lovely P4 result as well. Just about onto the podium there was the previous Noobs R Us Junior driver. And with massive gains up into the Noobs R Us Works team, has made his way to P4 here tonight. Mike Patrick.
Oh my goodness, Mike, sorry. There's P15, 16 battling for position as well, and that might have been a position. They are going at it.
Holy smokes. We'll get a replay of this, trust me. We'll finish it off for now as Seth Lincoln. That's a back marker. Should be. What am I looking at? Seth Lincoln? Yeah. The timing, that is, okay, that is Felipe. But as they come across line, Seth Lincoln there, let's get a replay there of that little battle. So we're going to see here Seth Lincoln currently the 74 car, the one that we're looking at, the Schwede Motorsport. We see the Audi and the Porsche in front now. These two are going to get very close to each other very soon. Heading now into the corkscrew. You can see the 909. Wait, we're not in the corkscrew. I went way too far back. I went a minute back. Okay, now we're heading up into the corkscrew. And you can see the braking much more confident there for the Porsche. The Audi is out of shape and off the track. I don't think we're going to be able to watch the whole thing, dang it. And that immediately allows Seth Lincoln in. The door was open. He forces him out a little bit wide. Maybe going to see a report there potentially. We'll see what the stewards have to say. Actually, this is unstewarded league, obviously. So just a bit of elbows out, you know, something to note in the future for the two drivers. Nonetheless, though, that will be the position. Seth Lincoln does take that.
Wow. So much fun. So many battles all the way up and down the grid. And if that was not enough, ladies and gentlemen, Mike, what do we have coming up next?
Well, Eric, we have our GT4 Open Series. Of course, our GT4 Open Series is going to be mostly brought to you by our patrons. Of course, our Patreon's going to be popping up on screen right now, all of them except for the one that I couldn't quite update because my power went out. Christian Dubé. Big thank you to you for participating as well in the Patreon. All of these amazing names on screen.
Yeah, fantastic community. You know, we wait a really, really long time. Ultimately, you know, so this isn't about trying to make money, but just to make up for some of the costs that it takes to keep this place running, and give a little bit to those who are committing a lot of time in making things run. Mr. Mike Nause here, some of our stewards and admins, and so that's where the funds will be distributed to, primarily going to the servers and all the support software that we use to run these things, and as well as some of the key players who keep this place running.
Yes, indeed. And Eric, I tell you what, why don't we talk a little bit here about the calendar, and why don't you do that here and what we have coming up?
we are really excited to have split the Porsche Cup Championship. So it's no longer an 8-week series, right? So giving an opportunity now for people to join. The Porsche Cup Series is about to start up again, a fresh championship starting in 2 weeks, 4 races. And we already have a really cool core group of people who are out there. And wow, I mean, even for a small number, we got some really good competition out there. And then to add to that, we have our continuing GT3 series, super competitive. I mean, I want to say probably the most competitive, but the GT4 Open Series is really giving it a run for its money. We have some incredible talent in the GT4 series, and hoping that translates to the GT3. To add to that, we have our Monday rookies in GT4 Open. As you can see, we just went through the GT4 rookie series. Fantastic driving all the way up and all the way down the grid. Lovely, lovely, lovely to see the talent that's emerging from these people who are just starting with no experience whatsoever and then slowly learning things one corner, a corner by corner. Hopefully getting into the GT4 Open, which is about to come up after Mike puts on some really fun racing for chat, hopefully in a couple of seconds here. But yeah, finally, we do have our M2 Reverse Grid, which is about to end. Our last week of M2 Reverse Grid coming up next Thursday. And that is followed up, if GT3s aren't enough, if that's not crazy enough for you, coming up in 2 Thursdays, we have GT3 Reverse Grid. If that's something you're looking to do, if craziness is what you are all about, GT3 Reverse Grid is where it's at. Thursdays, 8:30 Eastern. Super fun. Join, have some fun. Come find out what the back of the grid is for people like Ali Raza, and the front of the grid is for the rest of us human beings.
Now, as we see here in chat, we have a lot of people already joining in. !race in chat, everyone, to participate here in the race. We're going to see who in chat is the quickest. This is something that is a bit absurd in case anyone hasn't seen it, so make sure you guys do get involved with it. It's very, very fun. We're going to have 1 minute, put 1 minute on the clock here until we get underway. So you guys are going to have 1 minute, !race, and while we're in the race, you can type !boost, and you can go quicker. So, yeah, keep that in mind and use it wisely, because it can also, while it can send you down the straight at very high speeds, it can send you straight off into the grandstands, and nobody wants that. Oh, no. Eric, do you know what I just saw pop into the lobby?
No.
Justin Beachley. He has a 100% win rate. 3 for 3. Justin Beachley here at Stream Racer. He is one of the Stream Racer professionals out there.
I apologize, Justin, but finally you found something you could win at.
Oh, it wasn't
even
Beachley.
him.
Wait, what? Yes, it was. I thought it was. Who was it? I thought it was you.
Man, we're putting the man down, and he's not even winning.
I gaslit him. What can I say? Nonetheless, we are going to be going green here. We can see as Nightbot. How did Nightbot get in here? What? Regardless, Eric is off to a smashing start. We have Hawaiian Rush, the second quickest Hawaiian Stream Racer car in the world as it stands. No longer, though. It's been dethroned, as that now belongs to Zuka the Bazooka, who is flipping for joy. Gets T-boned by Eric Kakasi, and I am going to be trailing behind. I have no idea. Big pile up here. Bumping and banging is, oh my goodness, everybody trying to make chaos. Currently, Mel's, though, has taken the lead of this race and is storming away with it. We see some chaos behind Lizzie, currently in P2 with Karu chasing, and Eric. We're going to hop on board with Eric the Boss Kakasi and get a full, oh my goodness, it's a big one for Eric. What were you thinking there, Eric?
Where did he go? Oh no.
Oh my goodness, as Eric is going to get boosted along there by the contact. Hawaiian Rush behind, you can see, is going to be side by side, quite literally, with Zuka the Bazooka. They are glued to each other. like conjoined twins now heading through the bricks. They both get hit, and Zane Blisket comes in from behind, takes everybody out. Sword and Keyboard joining the fun as well. Rally Duce. Mel's here has come back to 5th. Our current race leader is Lizzie Alicea. No longer is Kevin Rivera bouncing along, but as we see it there, Onkov takes the lead. We see the start-finish line, or the finish line in the distance. It's not a start-finish line. Oh, side by side through the final few corners we go. It's 2 corners left and a Bullard. They both managed to negotiate it. There's some tires coming up on board here with the likes of Onkov. Nicely negotiated now through the corner and to the line. It's not going to be enough. Karu takes the win with Onkov behind. Mel's going to be coming up for P3. Hawaiian Rush, the 4th fastest Hawaiian the first fastest Hawaiian stream racer. What am I talking about? Hawaiian Rush, absolute legend. The quickest Hawaiian driver in this lobby as it stands. Lizzie with a massive amount of airtime. Raleigh Duce as well. And Neo Kabuki and I struggling here with a lot of other drivers. There's a lot of people in this race. I didn't even take the line. Nightbot coming in last. Oh, Eric, you're coming in last.
It's standard. I've never ever seen that long a strip of stream racer that Karu had not hit anything. Like, he went through like 4 different obstacles and missed them completely, deserving of the win for sure.
As we can see, everyone here in chat, I'm not sure what the stars mean and I'm not sure what the fuel means, but I'm assuming one means exclamation mark boost. I don't know what the other would mean.
Maybe that's wins that they've had. Are all these people stream
that
racer
very well could be
experts?
Maybe, but I have, let's see, I have 1 star. I definitely have never won stream racer. There's no way. Anyways, that has bought us a little bit of time. I don't think we had any driver. Oh, we do actually have a DeSoto. We have Christian DeSoto waiting in the driver interview room. So why don't we actually pull Christian DeSoto in real quick and get a little interview as Christian DeSoto? Are you? Your mic is muted. Are you?
I am here.
Hey, welcome! Congratulations on your podium tonight, Eric. Why don't you take this one real quick?
Christian, you're an unfamiliar name. How long have you been in the server?
I've been in for a couple months, but just joined the league for this season. My friend Miles Sewell introduced me to TRACKILICIOUS.
Cool. The Miles connection. Well, welcome. So was that P2 for you?
Yeah, P2 at the end.
P2. Okay. And how was the race for you? We saw that you were pretty tight at the end there. Really, really tight battle. How did what did you think you did right over the other person?
Patience. So towards the last lap, we're coming up to a bunch of traffic lap cars. And toward the second to last turn, he was catching a lapped car every time and having to massively brake. So I would just wait for that opportunity to come. And as soon as that happened on the last lap, he kind of gave a little tap to the car in front and it opened up the lane for me to take and held on to the last lap.
Thank you for saying that, because that is something that we keep talking about in the as a teacher, as someone who's more experienced but has no skill whatsoever. One of the things we keep preaching here at TRACKILICIOUS to the rookies is the fastest lap isn't the most important thing. Patience with a lower skill level league, right? So many people make mistakes, and the proper thing to do is find the point in which you can take advantage of somebody else's mistake. And it sounds like you did that, Christian. Great job. Fantastic. Congratulations on the P2. Looking forward to more racing from you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, and good luck in your next races as well. And also, I did also see there, Karu messaging or in chat there, that I put on the same track twice. I don't even know how you could possibly remember that, Karu, but more power. Oh, because you won. That's right, you won, didn't you, in that track? So obviously, that's your winning track. You would remember that one, and I already forgot who won. It was... We need some sort of leaderboards for stream racing.
It was Navarrete.
Navarrete. Was yes. No, not in the race, Eric. I know that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm talking about the real race.
Yeah, that was who won.
In Stream Racer?
No, that was
That's what I mean. I'm talking about the real race.
Karu.
Oh, okay. Karu, is that 2 in a row? I don't remember. Anyways, we need a leaderboard so I can remember. Heading into the session now. Free practice going to be coming to an end relatively soon here. You can see Gage Gonzalez out on track currently.
I do want to make a comment just for everybody. So historically, we've run our rookie series. We've had 2 doubleheader 20-minute races. However, unfortunately, because we've had to split, you don't get to see other races, but that doesn't mean there aren't other races. We actually have another 10 people who are in the second and a third race should they choose to do so. So we have 3 races, the 20-minute one that you see broadcast, and that's the official race, and that's the one gets scored where everybody gets the same point because points don't matter. It's a matter of learning and improving yourself and finding skill in the rookie series. But we do have 2 additional 15-minute races where people get to go out and have some fun and learn a little bit more and practice a little bit more. So if you are interested in getting a lot of racing on a Monday night, join the rookie series.
And Sword and Keyboard says, oh, there's another race? Oh, yes, there is. And Zuka with some hydrates as well.
Well, Mike, this seems like about a good time for me to bow out while you're getting ready for qualifying to start in these super fast people up in the Open Series. I have other obligations to go to. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm going to bow out. Enjoy the rest of the stream. See you guys later.
Thank you, Eric, for joining us. If anyone was curious, he's going to go kick a ball into a net. Well, he's going to go attempt to. And probably not succeed.
You're right.
Get out of here, Eric. Nonetheless. Also, woes from YouTube. No, I do not remember, unfortunately. And Zuka, there's another Audi as me. Zuka the Bazooka Vinar, of course.
Green light, go, go, go.
We have 33 drivers here tonight in this session. Of course, this session brought to you by our Patreon supporters. Big thank you to all of them names on screen. I won't leave them up for too long, but I will leave them up for a second because I appreciate every single one of you guys. As well as Christian Dubé, who is not listed on this list, but will be next time around, and as well anyone else that is going to be interested in the Patreon. A, it is in the description. B, if I can spell it right, Patreon, it is in chat as well. So if you guys take a look at that, you can find the Patreon link if you guys do want to support us and, like I say, help us pay for some of the servers as well as keep the staff entertained as well. But nonetheless, we obviously it's not for profit or anything like that in terms of irrelevant. This isn't my spiel. Thank you is what I gotta say, and thank you is what I mean. So thank you guys. And did another guy used to announce? Yes, Steven Tomazic. It did. He is unfortunately not able to make it this time around for work. Or no, not work. I think he has prior obligations. That's all. So not able to join us. He'll be back next week. So look forward to that, where I will have some more company. Of course, I'm pretty much riding solo tonight. Eric was just popping in to say hi to everybody. The drivers now into the qualifying session. 2.2 miles here. We have a lot of laps to go in 20 minutes. In fact, these drivers, though, 10-minute qualifying, as it's a split qualifying session. Thank you, Sword and Keyboard. We do what we can here. And that is our overall goal, so happy that we are hitting the nail on the head on that one. And you guys' kind words do mean a lot, by the way. I appreciate all of your kind words, like, genuinely. They make me smile, so thank you. Dan Brace going to be out in the second part of qualifying. It's going to be odds out first. Support there for the Noobs Are Us drivers as well from Lizzie. Lizzie going to be out in the second part of qualifying as well, hopefully. Wait, no, not in the second part. You're in the... Oh, I'm too used to 2 rookie races. I'm sorry. Lizzie, maybe in a different race. We'll see if she is going to be... Well, we won't see, but hopefully she is in that rookie race and going to be qualifying and making a valid lap as I make a fool of myself here. Kevin Rivera, he's going to be making easy work of this track, the Noobs R Us driver. Why don't we hop on board as he is the first driver around this circuit tonight. Heading now around turn 4. Bit of a flat out part now. You see the braking boards coming up here. They can get taken out during the race very easily. That number 2 sign is extremely crucial, and it's absolute chaos if it does get taken out. Luckily, though, the qualifying session going to be fairly tame, hopefully. Through the dipper. On to the outside curbage. Nice use of track there. That is what I like to call using all of the track. Nice and early on the brakes as well. Going to turn in early. I guess that just is the turn-in point. Never mind. That was very tidy from the Noobs R Us driver here of Kevin. Oops. Meant to stay on board. Kevin Rivera, one more corner to go at this point. The corners come very quickly here at Laguna Seca. Kevin Rivera here to the line. What is it going to be, our first time of the night? A 130.7. That's a respectable lap. 130.1, excuse me, 131.127. Very respectable lap to start. Miles Sewell only 0.3 off the pace. We see a 31 from Neil Kerbel in the... Oh, is it the Bentolaren Alpine? What? Bentolaren Alpine? Why does it have so many different capitals and stuff? That's so confusing. Oh, no, I didn't actually, Zuka. If you could DM that to me, that would be nice. I missed that, sorry. As well, Lizzie, some Puerto Rican support in chat. You love to see that. Kevin Rivera gonna be in her hearts out there tonight. Her hearts? I've been commentating too much lately, guys. Got a very, very slow brain tonight. What a livery here from Randy Gross. The 5.5 Motorsports with the Optimize on the front there. What a color scheme and what a flow. This, folks, is not easy to do. If anyone in the past has made a livery, lining those up takes some serious time. And Randy Gross here tonight has delivered a true eye stunner. Up into the corkscrew we go. Nice and early on the brakes, actually, Randy is. Awesome. Thank you, Zuka. Usiban. Okay. And Umban-esque. I don't know why I can't pronounce Umban-esque. Umban-esque. Yes. Thank you. Champion. Zuka the Bazooka. Vina. Which I still don't pronounce his last name right, but that's okay because he doesn't mind. And Beachley says, I avoid things like that so you get things like mine. Beachley, you've delivered a pretty nice... The Beach GT livery. Come on. Let's not sell yourself short here. Are you running it tonight? You're not running the Beach... Oh, you are running a Beach GT. We'll check it out a little bit later when you're actually out on track and not in the chat. But... currently, let's see here. Any more beauties out there on chat. The Napa, the Reggie King Napa livery. Look at this. Reggie King sort of returning to Simracing. At this point, he's made his... I wouldn't say he's returning anymore. He's firmly returned at this point. But an awesome number 111 car here. The AMG... And that cheese Audi was fire too. Yes, Jason, you cannot forget the Jason Provolone It Ain't Easy Being Cheesy special, of course, with James May holding a block of cheese and saying cheese. It is... That one is a true star. We haven't seen that one in a while, honestly. Haven't seen Reggie miss on a livery? Yeah, Reggie is a livery legend. An energy being thrown the way of the Puerto Rican driver of Kevin Rivera. It seems he's going to need it at the moment. Miles Sewell sitting on pole position in the GWP AMG, the 503. Silver and blue split. Lovely Williams colors. Kevin Rivera in P2, though, as it stands. And energy as well being given the way, and multiple drivers given some energy the way of Thanasis Liakos. Liakos. That's what it was. I remember being corrected on that. Liakos. Also a name that I'm unfamiliar with. The Australian driver in the Celsius Autosports, James Peary. Is it Peary? Reed. James Peary Reed. An Australian at this time of the night, which I'm pretty sure it is like midnight tomorrow for them. If I'm not mistaken, if not even at like 1 a.m. in the future. If you guys need lottery numbers, though, make sure you guys get in contact with James Reed. If you guys want some Sector 1 advice, maybe not so much. No, James Reed currently in P4, so a nice and respectable time on the board. And that is going to be the end of his qualifying as well. Pierre. Oh, obviously. It's Pierre. Okay. Thank you. That's a very easy one. And yes, Liakos, yes. I did remember getting corrected on that one already, so, you know, that one will have to get worked into the brain slowly. Greek, definitely not one of my fluent languages. I couldn't say a word in Greek, in fact. Where is Liakos? Liakos not yet to come out onto track in the Noobs R Us livery that I don't seem to have. Oh, never mind. It's the wrong car. Australia's about 10 right now. Really? 10 a.m. or 10 p.m.? Oh, you did the 000, so I'm assuming you mean a.m. Oh, it's noon for... It's 1:43 p.m. for them. My bad. It's not 1:43 a.m. I got my maths wrong. Yeah. I'm not going to explain the math that I use, because A, it's wrong, and B, very confusing. But I guess it could be 1 in Australia. Well, Australia is different time zones, so it could be 1 as well. Or is 10 as well. Yeah, Perth. There you go, yep. I am seeing nothing but red laps currently from any driver that actually continued. Miles Sewell being the only driver to keep a valid lap, and unfortunately he lost on his time. I guess Alex Afonso is keeping it valid so far, the Portuguese driver in the Intercontinental Maserati. Oh! And, well, that's going to be that. A chicane in the middle of the chicane. I was going to say he needs to return to garage very quick as the 46 car, Dan Brace, was approaching handedly. Did I say Leak? Oh my goodness. It's a process. Liakos. TJ Washed. That's a name I can pronounce correctly. Welcome, TJ. As we hop on board with Dan Brace in the Ironman Alpine this time around. He's back in the Alpine. Dan Brace has experimented with different cars recently. That is not the line. That was a very late on the brakes line there. Dan Brace, this is going to be a bit of a banker lap for him. A little bit hesitant on the throttle and a snap of oversteer on the exit of turn 4. Maybe didn't get enough heat into the tires on his outlap. That'd be my prediction. Seems like the car just doesn't want to grip up. That looked all right. Managing to keep the minimum speed up through turn 4 or turn 5 into turn 6 through the dipper. Very out of shape. Dan, gonna be struggling on this lap. Like I said, this is gonna be a bit of a banker. Chucks it in though to the corkscrew, and nicely done. That was a lovely line through the corkscrew. If he can keep that up all night, he is gonna be looking good in terms of pace. One of the trickiest corners in all of ACC, and heck, in all of the world almost. A little bit deep. It's gonna kick up some gravel, maybe half a tenth lost there. Into the final corner, very hot. Scrubs the tires a little bit. That's gonna be what you want though. You wanna hear those tires chirping but not washing. Comes across the line. It's gonna be only P4 for Dan right now, and I say only because I do expect more from him. Any first-time drivers today? Not that I know of, TJ. It was a really good rookie race, though, I gotta say. Had an absolute blast. Battling throughout the field. In fact, if there was a new rookie, I was too busy watching everything to even pay attention. There was so much battling. Great race tonight. Also have Casey Swanseeger, our previous Rookie League champion, out on track. Still with the spooky Halloween livery, maybe a little bit outdated. Casey, though, sticking with it for now. Heading now to the corkscrew, using all the track there, gets on the brakes. Nice line through there. Maybe could have tightened it up a little bit through the second part, but all in all, very good. Is going to be carrying the speed and gaining some time there. As he came down the hill, though, a couple tenths lost. Now through the penultimate corner, one more corner to go. Currently P16, a 131.6 for Casey Swanseeger. Last corner to negotiate. Very slow in, very wide out. Is that going to allow him to carry the speed onto the straight and gain some time? No, it is not. Comes across the line almost dead even with the previous lap. Actually, it will improve his time, but not any position. We had a lot of first-time racers with us. That's true. And David is going to have a schedule change in 4 months, and he'll be able to participate. All right. That's going to be fun. David Alicea going to be out on track in this series as well. Hopefully you'll be in the rookie series if you do qualify. I'm not sure if you're a rookie on SimGrid or not. If you are, I'd love to see you out there with Lizzie again. And Conford Caster, thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed you did enjoy your first race. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one as well, and many more to come. Conrad, what was your in-game name? I'm just curious. Or your name. Oh, and David, not a rookie. Fair enough. And Reed. Welcome, welcome. We have Beachley in the Beach GT. He made the comment earlier that he doesn't like putting complex lines on his car. And you know, I can see that. Instead, he just literally put his cat on his car. And his cat is also the background. It's a man very fond of his cat. Definitely. Oh my god, Justin! Oh. Right into that door panel. The kitty, not going to be too thrilled with that one. May have spun while looking at the leaderboard, says Zuka. And Mel says, Laguna's a tough track. Yes, it is. Laguna is one of the toughest tracks out there, honestly. It's so unforgiving. That's the biggest part of it, is you mess up anywhere and you're basically facing the wrong direction. Was that a curse? I mean, you could count that as a curse. I mean, you can do both, David. I don't think there's anything holding you back from doing both, besides time, obviously. Also, Hawaiian Rush joining us in chat still. Love to see it. The best Hawaiian streamer in all of ACC. The best Hawaiian streamer in the world, might I say. That I know of. Maybe wouldn't go that far. But also hasn't streamed in like forever. When are we going to see another Hawaiian Rush stream? That's the question. Calling you out here. If you are still here. Yes, Dan pointing this out. Wow. Thanasis Liakos, 5 thousandths off of the time of Miles Sewell. And Kevin Rivera, 32 thousandths off the time. There is less than half a tenth separating our top three currently. Now, for reference, everybody, and once again, I'm going to say it again. I know this is everyone's favorite fact. The human eye blinks in 0.2 of a second. Thanasis is going to have an end to his qualifying there. That's trying to push the boundaries just that little bit further. Not able to do so. Did I call you Ricardo? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, Kevin. I have half of the name covered, so I actually am only reading half the name in Twitch chat, so I just saw Rivera. I had a 50-50 shot. My apologies, Kevin. Ricardo! Yes. I like that, but it needs to be a little bit better than that. And getting stuck behind slow drivers, well, find yourself some space on track. There's plenty of it. I don't want to be rude, but you can always go backwards. If your lap is invalidated, or if your lap is ruined, just remember, your lap's ruined, so who cares? Go and find a nice little gap on track, and then go and set a beauty lap after that. That's what you got to do. Dan, very deep into the final corner. He was on such a good lap. Dan was going to be up there in that top three potentially, which I know is such a tight margin to gain into, but nonetheless, I think he had it. He dropped it in the final corner, though, or at least he had just a poor exit and a poor entry into the final corner, and that really cost him. Casey Swanseeger going to try to improve on his lap as well. Currently sitting in P21. The checkered flag has fallen. Any driver to come across the line at this point will no longer be able to start a lap. Anyone, though, on a previous one will be able to finish it. P15, it's going to be for Casey. And both Puerto Ricans starting next to each other in P3 and 4. This is not going to be confusing for me whatsoever. Last but not least, out on track as well, John Hawley in the Big Kids Now Racing is going to be trying to pull himself up the leaderboard. Not able to do so. Lovely livery, though. As we head into the race session, we are going to, of course, get our grid rundown. We can see the penalties getting assigned. Those are previous race penalties. While we hydrate here as well. And get into what is going to be the 40-minute race here tonight. GT4 Open Series, of course, open to our Patreon members as well as server supporters. And as we head into, yeah, holy smokes, that's quite the quali. Yes, less than half a tenth separating the top three is quite the quali. Let's get into this, though, and let's meet our drivers here tonight as we have it. Starting here in P1, it's going to be Miles Sewell in the 503 AMG on the first position. Next to him, Thanasis Liakos on the front row, the Noobs R Us driver, bringing up P2, the number 26 Aston Martin, as well as the Porsche in P3 of Ricardo Rivera, the 787 with Kevin Rivera Company in P4, no relation between the two. Dan Brace, fifth fastest in the number 46 Alpine, the Ironman Alpine, with Ilippo Rautsulainen Company in sixth. John Hawley bringing up the fourth row in the 410 Big Kids Now Racing. Quinn Smith going to be in P8 in the 888. Very fitting. Also 666 in the sixth. That's cursed, you might say, but you love to see it also. P9 belongs to James Pierre Reed in P9 with Jason Provolone in 10th. The number 82 It Ain't Easy Being Cheesy driver. Luis Castro, 11th quickest. The Chilean driver in P11 with George Elmer in P12, the number 22 car. Neil Kerbel in P13 is Kevin Johnson Company in 14th. Tony Danzig going to be in P15. Casey Swanseeger, 16th quickest in the Noobs R Us Halloween livery. And Reggie King in 17th, the number 111. Andre Alex Afonso in the Intercontinental Racing Maserati, the lone Maserati in the field here tonight in P18. Next to him, Justin Beachley, going to be 19th quickest, rounding out, or going to be starting off our row 9 and rounding out, or row 10, excuse me, is going to be Professor Chronotis. Brandon Mellenbach, P21 in the number 11 AMG. Randy Gross, 22nd quickest, as well as Aaron Miller in the Viper Racing in 23rd. Jeff Dallas, Precision Motorsports in 24th, the Porsche, as well as Zuka Vienad, Zuka the Bazooka, in P25. Alex Freeman, 26th quickest. Jacob Church Company in 27th. Milo Stansky, 28th, as well as Devin Anthony in 29th. Scott Sullivan going to be rounding out our top 30 with Patty Doring Company in 31st. Alexio Gappa, 32nd quickest. Gage Gonzalez, 33rd. And Yeager Karu bringing up the back of the field in the Mad Fox Racing. As the cars are getting underway here to begin their 2.2 mile outlap at the Laguna Seca track, of course, located here in the Salinas, California. 11 corners, 6 to the left, 5 to the right, with 55 meters of elevation here tonight for these drivers to contend with. We have both red plates and white plates out tonight. It's another thing to keep in mind, so some mixed racing. That's right, it is open to rookies, and I keep forgetting that there are red plates involved. It's very confusing, but there are red plates, so there are AMs out there. They're spread into the mix with the white plates, though. How many cars? We got 34 cars lined up tonight. And Casey Schutte, welcome. Wet Sox also welcome. Jeremy Cubbage, gonna be cheering on the Noobs R Us drivers. Lizzie as well. Love to see the energy building here. as this millions and millions of dollars rolls through the grid here. In terms of all of these amazing pieces of machinery and all the work that goes into them, as well as the practice that the drivers have put in. Of course, that is not something to be undersold. These drivers have been practicing very hard for this league. I know some of them in particular really putting in the effort, trying to put in those times and deliver the results, and you love to see it. Practice makes perfect, and the only way to get quicker is by driving. Energy being thrown in the way of Aaron Miller. He's going to need it. He's in a sticky spot right now in P23 in about the middle of the field. Going to need to keep his nose clean. As the drivers now line up 2 by 2, Noah's Ark formation as they get ready to come around the final corner, turn 11 here tonight. On to the start, finish, not so straight. Miles Sewell in pole position, the 503 AMG, with Thanasis Liakos in P2, the 26 Aston Martin. I'm Mike Nause in the booth as we get ready to go green, green, green here now, heading into the first corner, the kink, which is going to quickly turn into the second, the Andretti hairpin. Miles Sewell about even start with Thanasis as they head into it, but Miles a little bit further behind. Ricardo Rivera under pressure from Kevin behind as well. Side by side goes the Noobs R Us driver as well as Thanasis. Thanasis gets beaten out there with Ricardo, excuse me, I'm getting the Noobs R Us drivers already confused. Now we have Kevin Rivera going side by side with Thanasis. Thanasis falling back early here tonight. Ilipo Rautsulainen stayed in 6th, with Quinn Smith managing to gain a position here early. George Elmer and James Pierre Reed side by side coming through the 4th corner, heading towards the 5th now, as it looks like the Alpine is going to have the advantage, the Simnut Racing. But will we see a late lunge there from Pierre Reed? No, but he's not going to need to, as George Elmer has left him more than enough space there on the apex, giving him plenty of room. The drivers up at the front negotiating are about to come onto the Raoul Straight and head to the corkscrew for the first time. Miles Sewell pulling away massively at the start here with Ricardo Rivera a second behind. Thanasis gets tagged, or Thanasis tags Ricardo Rivera. Ricardo tucks off into the slip road, rejoins the track safely, luckily. That could have been an absolute catastrophe. Thanasis is going to start pressuring back. Maybe needs to look behind, though, at Dan Brace and the Ironman Alpine, who's going to be making his moves as well. Kevin Rivera attacking, but needing to remake up that ground. One position here to Dan Brace has been lost. We may even go 3 wide here into the Andretti hairpin. Not quite going to happen. 2 wide, very far apart there. Ilipo trying to get involved with this action. Quinn Smith as well in that V8 Racing Camaro, with John Hawley in the Big Kids Now Racing behind. Look at this train of cars, everybody. This is some racing here tonight. As we've completed lap 1 of Laguna Seca, we see some drivers pulling into the pits already. Now, there is one mandatory pit stop here tonight, as I just alluded to, and as a result, these drivers are going to be coming in early, it seems. Some of them going for that undercut strategy where they just come into the pits at the very beginning to get themselves into clean air so they can go and lap cleanly and freely. It's a very, maybe a smart choice actually here at Laguna, as there's not too much slipstream to be had. Typically on the longer tracks where there's a long straight, you're going to want to stay out as long as you can. What has happened? I hear some gravel being kicked up. That was Neil Kerbel. He's going to have to watch all of these cars go by through the corkscrew and basically sit there in tears. You can see George Elmer making a lunge onto Tony Danzig, but nothing happening from that. And looks like a pretty clean lap 1. That was an extremely clean lap 1, actually. I don't think there was really any incidents. Ooh, I like that washed up. I like that. That's a good call. TJ, he's got a big brain. It's just, that's big brain TJ. Justin Beachley fighting for positions with Gage Gonzalez in the Earnhardt Camaro. Nice tribute livery there. I would like to check it out. We'll check it out eventually. We got 40 minutes to do so. But you can see onto the gravel is Gage Gonzalez. He is pushing that V8 to the absolute limit. Of course, there is somebody else who was in chat earlier, actually, somebody else who's behind that is known for pushing the V8 to the absolute limit, and that is Devin Smallblock Anthony. He has since moved away from the V8 over to a straight 6. Let's hope he can manage to keep that one intact. I'm obviously kidding. Of course, last week at Misano, Devin Anthony had the misfortune, might you call it, of locking up his rear tires and double downshifting, revving his Camaro up to 9,972 revs per minute and blowing the engine up on the spot. So, Devin Smallblock Anthony, aptly named since Kevin Johnson goes deep and Tony Danzig is through. Casey Swanseeger as well making up ground. He is currently leading the red plates. And energy as well being thrown the way of Alexio Gappa. Alexio currently in P31. The Zimbabwe driver. Zimbabwean driver? Is that what? I'm not sure. And support for Tony as well. Kevin Johnson, though, he's going to need some support from Casey, or for the attack here onto Casey. Casey did get by recently after that mistake. Oh, and Casey has had exactly what... All right, I'll give you guys that one. That's a curse. Sorry, Casey. Casey Swanseeger puts a foot wrong there. The pressure building and it got to him. Let's see if we can get a replay of that one. Oh, just tucks a tire onto the gravel and that is enough. With a foot full of throttle from the AMG, that big old V8 is going to be just spinning those wheels and sending him off. We're up to 94. Commentator curses. Which is, quite the number. We're almost, like I said, to that triple digits. Oh, Justin Beachley getting awfully close to the rear bumper of Jeff Dallas, the Precision Motorsports number 21. That is the true precision there from Justin Beachley this time around. Brendan Mellenbach behind with a, or Brendan Mellenbacher behind, excuse me, behind with a penalty. 10 seconds, that's going to be from a previous race. .36.30 as well, on to cheer the Stinky Cheese Man. He's currently in the top 10. He's going to stay in the top 10. After going off the track and taking to the awfully cheese-colored surface. As well, energy from Zane Blisket being given to Yeager Karu. Yeager currently at the back of the pack. The Mad Fox Racing has some ground to make up before he gets to the likes of Casey. Oh, he's at the back of the pack as he pit, obviously. So he will be back in it eventually. He went for that early pit stop strategy, a little out of sequence with everybody else. Also, Randall Magic, welcome. Also supporting the Big Cheese. Wow. Neil Kerbel. Did he just get 2 for 1? Hang on, everybody. That might have been, like, the send of the race. We see Neil Kerbel approaching these two cars. They're fighting away. Neil says, I'm going to pick my line here. Sends it. Keeps it on track. That was completely on track. I think the white lines on the exit curbing are going to be the track limits. And he gets the overtake done. Neil Kerbel, 2 for 1 in one corner, while these two are inseparable. Alex Freeman and Milo Stansky have lost another position as a result of their infighting there between the two of these guys. Oh, Oh no, Neil Kerbal! What has happened here? I was looking at chat. Did I catch this? Let's see. And so we're back at that side-by-side action where we resumed earlier. We can see Neil Kerbal pretty much all on his lonesome after getting that lovely 2-for-1, but he just drives deep. He tries to keep his foot in it, and the Camaro tags him of Jacob Church. Yeah, he's like, but wait, there's more. And there was accidental opening lap. I'm assuming contact that caused the pits for Karu there. Whoa! That is not the line from Scott Sullivan. Scott Sullivan, he's a trendsetter. You know, he makes his own ways on track, sets his own paths. Aaron Miller is in an absolutely abysmal position currently. And those are the lead pack blowing by him on a different lap. Aaron gonna have to pick a safe part. There's no safe spot to rejoin for him really either. He's gonna have to wait that one out and just wait. I mean, there's no other way of putting it. He just has to wait. Ivar Optwich, welcome. Scott's having troubles with his tires. Okay. Dan Brace under pressure from Kevin Rivera, the Puerto Rican driver, gonna be on the charge. You can see him taking that wide line, actually not favoring him there, as that is going to be the dirty line where the marbles are. Going to lose traction as you wash off to the outside there. Ricardo Rivera, though, doing a good job of holding on to the pressure from Thanasis Liakos. The Noobs R Us driver on the charge, but with a very strong defense to contend with here, is going to have to try to find a chink in that armor of Ricardo Rivera. And is this going to be it? He's deep through the first chicane, or through the first hairpin. Though, not going to happen, as that first sector does not really warrant too much overtaking. The first corner is good if you can get a good run, but beyond that, it's very tricky to make any sort of switchbacks happen. And the top four are sniffing each other's farts, says David. Yes, they are. Smelling each other's gas, might you say. I think that's maybe a better way of putting it, more family-friendly way of putting it, actually. The Nause is pushing the limits there off track, indeed. That's going to give the run to Dan Brace, and he is going to say thank you very much and takes that with arms wide open. Not sure Dan Brace is the biggest Creed fan, though Thanasis here under pressure from Kevin behind. They're going to be team orders. Looks like there isn't need for team orders. Thanasis into the pits. And yes, clever TJ. John Hawley, the 410. I think it's about time that we can start looking at liveries. So who we're going to start off with here? We'll work our way down the pack. The GWP Simracing. Why don't we start there? As this is our current race leader. And is that the Patreon logo? You know what? It is in my books. I hope it is. I don't think it is, actually. Is Patreon just changed their logo? I think that's something else. But if anyone is interested, of course, we do have a Patreon, exclamation mark Patreon in chat. Thank you guys in advance to anyone that does choose to support us. And thank you to all of our previous supporters as well. Miles with a lovely split 50-50 livery there. The 503 AMG coming into the corkscrew here, 5 seconds ahead of Ricardo Rivera. Oh! What was that? That was a back marker. As this is the Puerto Rico E-Racing Club livery. Lizzie, did you ever join that team, by the way? I'm curious. You are in chat. Has Dan Brace in the Ironman Alpine breathing down his neck. Kevin Rivera as well in the Noobs R Us car. Why don't we take a look, though, at John Hawley here. John Hawley's closed James Pierre Reed's gap down to 0.4 of a second. Cars going to be rejoining the track. This can be scary with cars rejoining. They do join on the opposite side of the racing line, though, luckily, but they will need to fan their way back at some point. John Hawley, though, is going to be firmly behind that, I think, back marker. Yes, Milo Stansky, that is going to be ahead of them. Lizzie had too much sass for them, I believe that. They be trying to tell her the racing line, and they're just like, no. Let me show you how to do it. It's like, okay, Lizzie, we're here to teach you. Nah, I love you, Lizzie. John Hawley side by side with Milo Stansky. Milo's a little bit scared there, you can tell. That is not the spot you want to let somebody by. Dan Brace, not able to really gain anything just yet. 24 minutes, 44 seconds. We'll see if he goes for an alternate strategy. I think that's going to be Dan's best bet tonight. Going for a pit stop and no set of tires, I presume. Was there contact there? There may have been. Though it was very light brushing. Nothing that these GT4 cars can't handle. They can handle a little bit more bumping and banging than your GT3 cars. A bit further behind, Brandon Mellenbacher. Wait, Mellenbach. Wait, Mellenbacher. Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, I have figured out why I keep calling Brandon Mellenbacher Brandon Mellenbach. It's because my ACC TV is cutting his name off, so I'm just reading what I'm seeing. I was wondering why there was two of the same name in the same race. That was odd. Okay, so Brandon Mellenbacher. There is no Brandon Mellenbach. Ignore what ACC TV says there. Can I make this? There's gotta be a way that I can get that name to show up, but nonetheless, side by side, nobody cares about my ACC TV. Side by side we go with Justin Beachley into the chicane. That's what everyone wants to see and hear. You can see the Paddy Doring is behind. He's a back marker, getting held up with this, wanting to get on with his race. Going for that early pit stop maybe wasn't the best call. What has happened to Jacob Church? Jacob going slow. Whoa! What a move! Aaron Miller manages to negotiate through that. I have no idea how he did not make contact with the one Bigley Camaro. That was so tight. Onboard? Onboard of, what did I think? Did I miss an onboard? I did miss an onboard. Yes, thank you. You're on board, of course. I forgot. Thank you so much. We have with Reed, obviously. Yes, James Pierre Reed. Under pressure from John Hawley. Battle we were just talking about, in fact. The Australian driver going to be coming through the corkscrew now. Down the hill. Very tight line. You can see that Audi has so much grip as he gets on the throttle. Very planted. Is a good setup. And into the pits. All right, we'll skip this onboard lap then. Sounds good. Please remind me again, TJ. Dan Brace, who is fresh out of the pits and side by side with Zuka the Bazooka Vinar, with Alex Freeman in front. Alex Freeman's out of sequence here. He has not made his pit stop. These two drivers, Dan Brace and Zuka, this is for actual track position. At least track position long term, I guess is the better way to put it. Dan going deep into the chicane, somehow keeping it on track. Don't know how he didn't invalidate there. Keeps it tidy, though. And Alex Freeman being a bit of a bottleneck. He comes into the pits, and that is going to free both of them. Well, drivers making their pit stop now, as this is about halfway through the race when drivers are going to be making it. And that's Kevin Rivera, well behind Dan Brace and Zuka Vinod. What happened there? I'm actually just trying to make sense of what happened in Zuka's pit. Zuka hasn't pit. Huh? Why hasn't Zuka... Zuka has a pit. He started in the pits. He started in the pits? No, he didn't. Wait, what? You guys are witnessing a confused man right now. I have no idea why Zuka has one pit stop to his name but hasn't made a stop. I'm sure we'll hear from him later on that. Ricardo Rivera's in, Ilipo Rautsulainen is in, Jason Provolone also in. I think we're going to see... Oh, that is Scott Sullivan with a big moment. We heard earlier a report from his race engineer that his tires are going. We can pop on board and see what it's like. Whoa. Zuka with a big scare as well. So we're going to see Scott here move out of the way and allow the Noobs R Us driver... Well, actually, we're just coming into the pits. Every onboard I go on, we just go into the pits. So what happened with Liakos? He pit, Ivar. We're in the pit phase right now. So currently Liakos in P2 on once it comes to the actual long-term track position. He's going to end up in P2 with Ricardo Rivera currently leading this race. Miles Sewell actually should come out in front. Thanasis will be in P3, excuse me. Maybe he didn't add a few... Oh. That makes sense, Casey. So, of course, the pit requirements tonight are that you make one mandatory stop, but you also have to take at least 1 liter of fuel. It's not fixed 25 seconds tonight, huh? As it looks like it is. Was the best time in qualifying? I think we were seeing 29, mid-29s, if I remember right. Lower 29s, I think. Lower to mid-29s. That was end up the final qualifying times. You can go back in the stream and check it out if you are interested. It has slipped my mind, unfortunately. But I do remember that the top 3 were split by 5... Or excuse me, what was it? 53, half a tenth. 53 thousandths of a second, half a tenth. Kevin Rivera there gets by Zuka Vinod. Side by side they go, though. Is going to hold it. 129.5, it says David. Yeah, that sounds right. I remember seeing a 129.5, but I thought there was a little bit quicker one. I don't remember. Scott did fuel pit. Yes. Did full pit, fuel pit. Yeah, so he didn't go for tires. Is that what you mean by that? He actually he had to take a repair as well. And he picks up a stop go 30. Scott Sullivan. I wouldn't want to be watching Scott's stream right now, as I bet that is the face of a defeated man. Yeah, Casey, that... Nope, didn't do tires. End, stop, go. Oof. Casey, up here battling with Freeman, is going to make it by. But Definitely Scott Sullivan going to be kicking himself for that one. A very easy speeding in the pit lane. As well, we see another one. Jaeger Karu has picked up a stop-go 30 for, I presume, the exact same infringement. And top 5 took tires? No, actually. We have nobody in the top 5 taking tires. Ricardo Rivera, alleged to stay on his old ones. Thanasis may have. He had exactly 30 seconds stopped in the pits. So unless he absolutely flawlessed his pit stop, which is very possible, I don't think he took tires. Illipo Rautsulainen definitely did not. Dan Brace definitely did not. Kevin Rivera may have. Kevin Rivera may have took tires. And James Pierre Reed did not either. Aaron Miller off the track again. Quinn Smith further down than you would expect, battling with the Australian driver tonight. And David there, his race strategist, coming in and confirming that he did not, in fact, take tires. Scott messed up, his tires cooled off. Yeah, you should get for speeding in the pits. Practice your pit stops, guys. I preach it every single stream. You should have at least 5 pit stops before every single race in the current, whatever track you're practicing. Practice it 5 times, every single time. You have to, as you can lose so much time in the pits. That would have been the perfect opportunity for Quinn Smith to make an overtake, but unfortunately he kind of followed James Pierre there. Not worth it for just a 40-minute race? I disagree, David. Does not take much time at all to do. Rather than returning to the garage on your practice laps, just, well, drive into the garage. There's the send from Quinn Smith. Is he going to make it stick side by side up the hill as they head towards the dipper? He's going to need to make it... Okay, he doesn't. Oh, are you talking about tires? You're talking about tires in a 40-minute race. My apologies. No, tires are not worth taking in a 40-minute race. I got a little tunnel vision to my thought process. Ivar, that's not what he was talking about. My apologies. But yes, you should practice your pit stops even in the 20-minute races. Doesn't matter. If you want to do good in a race, practice. And practicing, I always put the emphasis on these drivers. They practice hundreds of hours on track, but they don't put any hours into the pits, and it's so important. But enough of that, as I've lectured Scott Sullivan enough. Practice your pit stops is the PSA from today's stream. We'll go back 3 wide. Quinn Smith, James Pierre Reed, and John Hawley. Some bumping and banging there as we have even more as James Pierre Reed gets a little out of shape as a result. But James falling down, John Hawley there. Lovely send, and what a job that was from John. Oh my goodness. Ivar, your monitor fell off your desk while you were racing? Or when you were practicing? That's hilarious and very unfortunate. And Casey, we talking about practice? I don't know if we are or not. We're not anymore. Kevin Johnson, he's in the pits. Let's see if he ends up with a stop-go 30 penalty. I don't think so, because I bet he practiced. He probably didn't. Most drivers don't practice. I can say this every single week, and maybe it might help 3 drivers never get a stop-go 30 penalty again. But hey, if that's 3 drivers that I can help out, that's more than enough. Like I say, you will never get a stop-go 30 penalty if you practice. That's not true. You can still get it. Just practice, guys. Enough. Let's be honest, lots of show-ups and drives. I mean, you're right, David. A lot of people just don't have time to practice. I mean, real life is a factor. And obviously, if you don't have time to practice laps on track, you're probably not going to have time to practice your pit stops. But you should still send 1 or 2 in, just in case. It takes a couple seconds. And Onkov, what do you mean I'm driving with my keyboard? Yep, definitely. There are some keyboard drivers out there, don't get me wrong, but I don't think we have any in our league. We have some controller drivers, of course. Jace Wright, the controller king. And Mike Patrick in chat saying, yeah, show up and drive, that's me. Yeah, fair enough. To be fair, I'm just show up and commentate, so it's kind of relatable in my end. Ruby, I don't like that. Also, welcome, Ruby, but I don't like that. Welcome, Cody, as well. And a hydrate from Ivar. Caffeinate a little bit there. Jaeger has had an off, and it looks to be a potential retiring for the number 20 Mad Fox Racing AMG. Yeah, Okan, if you can play ACC with a controller, and there's some drivers that are extremely talented at it. When I was talking there, Jace Wright, there's a reason we call him the controller king, and that's because he's competing with the likes of Dan Brace, Quinn Smith. In fact, if you want to watch some lovely racing with Quinn Smith involved, go back and watch the Sunday stream with both Jace Wright and Quinn Smith. That is some battling that you can see between those two drivers. And Jace, like I said, on a controller. You have these drivers, of course, that have their $10,000 setups. You got drivers that have their 2x4 setups. And you got Jace. He's on a controller. Reed. Yes. Perfect timing, too. And Jace Wright on the controller in the rain is next level, says King Donut. That is the most true and unexpected statement I've ever made. That guy is a legend in the wet. He made up, what was it? Off memory, it was 23 positions that he made up in the rain from starting in the back of the grid. Wasn't that what it was? Like I say, go back and watch the Sunday stream, everyone. That is definitely worth the watch if you want to see a truly talented controller driver. Jaeger, unfortunately, getting beaten by microscopic little beings. So, gonna have to retire. James Pierre Reed here. Let's hop on this on board as we were watching it. We got Jason Provolone still behind us. We're about to approach Andre Alex Afonso, actually, who returned to the pits, had an error, and is gonna retire from the session. Dan Brace with the yellow flag as well. What is happening up ahead? Dan Brace was on for a good result here tonight. This looks to be a completely unforced error through the dipper. Is he going to run onto that exit curb, or is he going to take it too tight? That's too tight. Oh, no. What a weird... The front end just didn't grip there. The back end just stepped out. That was very strange. But back with James Pierre Reed here as we head down the hill. Heading now to the final corner. Jason Provolone is right on our diffuser. Heading now onto the start-finish straight. James Pierre Reed, 131.4 for the Australian driver this time around. 6 minutes and 53 seconds left in this race. Wow, that flew by. Didn't even realize this race was coming to an end soon. And Alex, welcome, Alex Carnos. Alex Carnos Welcome. I hope you're having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world, along with everybody else joining us tonight. Of course, this is the final race tonight. This is the second race. We had our Rookie League earlier, Rookie Championship. Super fun, awesome league. Got to see more racing than I've seen in a long time, to be honest. The Rookie League delivers just on astronomical bounds, I gotta say, every single time. It is so much fun. Ooh. Here we go. James Pierre Reed actually just got overtaken. What happened? Gage Gonzalez has seemingly come out of nowhere and is getting frisky with Jason Provolone. And it seems that Ilipo Ratsulainen and Kevin Rivera have had it coming together. We, in this last 6 minutes, have some action ahead of us, folks, because we may even have a 5-way battle here. Let's take a look at Kevin and Ilipo. Kevin is behind with a big send, and Ilipo was not expecting that and closes the door, which is in every right. Ilipo had full right to that corner. That was a very very optimistic send there from Kevin Rivera. John Hawley currently in 7th. And Gage Gonzalez and Provolone, these two are still scrapping. We never looked at liveries, did we? We've never had time to look at liveries, to be fair. And Ivar, I'm happy that you could race as well earlier. Sorry, I just caught that chat message. And the era SimGrid woke up for the race. 2 in the morning? I'm assuming 2 in the morning, 2 in the night, 2 in the morning. Where are you from? You in the UK, Ivar? Or are you over there? Are you yeah, it'd be UK time because we had daylight savings. So you GMT or you CEST? It's one of those two, I think. Quinn Smith and Ilipo, the battle of the V8s. Also, Dan Brace and Luis Castro. Battle for P11. Can either of them make it in the top 10? Maybe. And take a bit of an error from James Pierre Reed, but it's very possible. James, of course, on 40-minute tires, along with most of these drivers. And on cue, James Pierre Reed makes a mistake. Not quite a curseable one. Wasn't a race or position-losing mistake, but Luis, he's gonna see his eyes are gonna widen a little bit, and he's gonna get a little excited. Maybe he sees some blood in the water there and can have a little taste. We'll see. And daylight savings needs to go away. Preach! Yes, it does. It sucks. King Donut agrees as well. But, Ivar, like I said, I'd love to hear where you're from. Brandon Mellenbacher in P22 has Milos Tansky. Oh, no, he doesn't. Excuse me. He is breathing down the back of Devin Anthony. Netherlands. Okay. A Dutchie. I guess Optwitch. Optwitch, okay. I probably could have guessed that, actually, now that I think about it. If I had thought about it for a little bit of time, Optwitch is a pretty Dutch name. Alex asking, how can I register for the rookie races? Now, that is a great question, Alex. How you can register for the rookie races, I'm going to type it real quick in chat here. You can say !sim, if I can type it correctly, grid, and click on that link right there that Nightbot has just provided, and it will send you over to our SimGrid page, which has all of our races. Now, there's going to be quite a few races on there. The one that you're looking for, though, is going to be here, the GT4 Rookie Championship. You can see on the left-hand side of the screen, next week, Nürburgring. We also have our GT4 Open Championship. That's what you're watching right now. The M2 Reverse Grid coming up for the Grand Finals at Bathurst, and after that, our GT3 Reverse Grid taking its place. Moving on to the GT3 calendar, we have Sunday GT3, our main event as well, with our Porsche Cup Series as support. We're going to be at Nürburgring, split the Porsche Cup Series, so make sure you guys sign up for the next one as well. Cannot wait. These Porsche Cups have been so much fun here, and those little flat six engines roar around the tracks. Of course, yesterday, we were at Brands Hatch in the wet. It was so much fun. Also, Maserati Madness coming up November 27th, a 30-45 doubleheader at Kyalami. Let's get back into the action, though, before we end this race, because we have plenty of scrapping here on this last lap. Dan Brace and Luis Castro. Luis Castro, though, off the track, the Chilean driver. Unfortunate. Up at the front, we have a podium battle as well. Quinn Smith, one to keep an eye on. No idea who to watch right now. Thanasis Liakos, if he has the pace to make the overtake happen, now is the time to unleash it. 1 lap to go, 2 miles left. And Dead Pixels first time chatter, Maserati, that is exactly what I said. Yes, if you guys are interested in Maserati Madness, head over to SimGrid and get signed up for that. It's open to everybody. That one, it's gonna be fun. I love Kyalami, one of my all-time favorite tracks. Just big sweeping corners. Got Cheetah, one of the most challenging corners. Once again, now's not the time to talk about it because we're coming through the corkscrew on the final lap, and this is a battle for position. Thanasis Liakos trying to dispatch Kevin Rivera. He's running out of corners to do so. 2 more to go, and only 1 real opportunity. This corner is going to be a faint attempt of a setup. He is going to have a look to the inside, but you can see there as Ricardo keeps the door closed, does not allow Thanasis to send it onto the inside. Liakos is going to have to take P3. Miles Sewell comes across the line for first position in the GWP Simracing 503 AMG with Ricardo Rivera in P2, the Puerto Rico E-Racing Club member, and Thanasis Liakos in P3. Filippo Rautsulainen in a battle to the line with Quinn Smith. It was a fair battle at the end. Those 2 drivers with a bit of respect for each other, no doubt. Kevin Rivera takes 6th, John Hawley in 7th, Gage Gonzalez in 8th, Jason Provolone 9th, and James Pierre Reed rounds out our top 10, the Australian driver in the Celsius Autosports. Fastest lap of the night actually belongs to Liakos. Also, if we can get our drivers up into the green room, I don't know if any drivers are listening or have the ability to get a hold of Miles Sewell, Ricardo Rivera, and Thanasis Liakos. If you can get them moved up to the green room, that would be awesome. Thank you, guys. I think that is pretty much it for the racing. All of the side-by-side battles have come to a close, and now everybody is just going to be coming to the line as it is. Casey Swanseeger going to be the final one to cross the line here tonight. P20, not a bad recovery, all things considering. And he does make it to the checkered flag at the end of the day. Nicely done from Casey Swanseeger. There's a car stranded at the end. Another Noobs R Us car. As we have it, though, we're going to head back into the booth and get ready for some driver interviews. Welcome back, everybody, to the booth. Of course, I'm Mike Nause. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight. We are, like I say, waiting for some drivers to head on into the green room. We have Miles Sewell to start us off. So let's begin that. Miles, how's it going? Take the race win tonight, and quite handedly, might I add, as well.
I'm not going to say handedly. I'm sweating. I'm sweating really bad right now.
Okay. So what was that made you sweat then? Because it seemed from my end that you were fairly comfortable, at least with your gap to the P2.
I was until I went a little bit too far in my pit box, and that cost me 3 to 4 seconds. And from there on, I was really sweating because the whole time beforehand I was just trying to save tires a little bit, and then when I came out, I saw 1.5 seconds to Rivera. I'm like, great, now I got to push for the rest of the race.
Fair enough. And as we have it, Ricardo Rivera joining us on cue. Ricardo, what are your thoughts of that battle? Did you see the light there momentarily to get a little bit of hope that you would have the race win?
Just a little bit for like one sector. Then once we run into traffic, I just try to keep myself alive and don't do anything stupid to die because of traffic or something.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. But nonetheless, a great drive from the both of you. Miles, dominant performance, fastest lap in qualifying, taking the race lead at the start of the race and leading it throughout. I mean, it must feel pretty good.
Against these guys, it absolutely does feel good. This is only the second race I've done in the Open Series because I missed the first one, but it's been tight racing. These guys are fast, so it's always good to take home a win.
Yeah, and hopefully that boosts you up in the championship standings. We'll see you up there at the end. I know, as he said, there will be a drop round, of course, so you can use that to your advantage. And Ricardo, able to beat out the fellow Rivera as well. So you are the fastest Rivera on track. That must be a bit of a pride thing to take home as well.
Fastest Rivera and fastest Puerto Rican.
Hey, that's something, right?
Yeah. I did a race on last week. I was out, but on the first race, the other Rivera was really quick. If I was lucky enough, because he got, I think, a drive-through to take the win. But yeah, he's quite fast.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of an understatement, honestly. But yeah, not up there tonight. You were able to get him, and congratulations to you on that. So big thank you to you guys, and congratulations as well. Hope to see you, but I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. So you guys are all free to go. Thank you guys, and have a great night.
Before I go,
Yeah,
I want to give a shout out to Brandon Mellenbacher.
Okay.
He was in a fight, and he let me through instead of fighting for position. So I really appreciate that.
Well, there you go, Brandon Mellenbach, a team player. I guess no relation though. You guys didn't have any. Was that just a gesture, just a gentleman, basically, is what you're saying?
I know Brandon, but he definitely didn't have to do that.
Well, Brandon, the gentleman's driver, we'll call him. So sacrificing his race a little bit to have Miles take the win tonight. Miles, congratulations, and hopefully you can make this a back-to-back. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
And once again, big thank you to chat as well. You guys have been awesome tonight, keeping me company throughout. As it's been a lonely one in the booth, Steven will be back next week. Don't fret, everyone. You won't have to be stuck with just my voice. But thank you guys so much for keeping me entertained. Doc Mill, we appreciate you as always. Thank you so much for being here. You're absolute lurking legend, I gotta say. As well, Jason Provolone, One Bigly, Ruby, thank you so much. We had some follows as well. Quirk, thank you very much for the follow. I missed that earlier. A few others. Thank you guys so much for making us what we do here. Feel awesome. Like I say, all these Patreon members, thank you guys, as well as the one that I'm missing, which is, as I have to check, sorry, Christian Dubé. Thank you so much, Christian. We are going to be ending the stream, though, tonight. We're going to be raiding. We're going to raid Dogo, is who we're going to raid. He's going to be on some iRacing. Dogo, incredible guy. So let's go check him out. Super chill. Be a nice way to end, of course, from this high energy stream, move over to a nice chill driver. Hope you guys have a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you guys are in this fine world. Thank you for watching, and good night.